Consultforsales.com. Take your business to a new level. Consultforsales.com. Take your business to a new level. Consultforsales.com. Take your business to a new level. Consultancy that really makes a difference. With our growth guarantee, you pay only as you earn. Consultforsales.com. Take your business to a new level. Consultforsales.com.
All right, wish you a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome to today's SaleskiPathshala, where the topic is very much in sync with today's times. We are going to talk about social CRM. Yes, friends, in today's program, we are going to talk about what is this emerging world of social CRM? How is it different from CRM, or how has it evolved from CRM? And what are the various nuances of CRM which is now being captured in social CRM? All right. So this is a very trending topic right now. And many of the things that we are going to discuss in today's program, you may take it as an increment in your general knowledge. You may feel that you're not able to implement everything immediately, but all the same, it's important for you to understand the meaning of the term called social CRM and how exactly you can make use of it in your day-to-day business. So as people are still rolling into the room, guys, at the beginning of the program, just want to check it out, whether my audio, video is clear or not. So can you write all clear on the chat box? All right. All clear on the chat box. Okay. Sanjay Agarwal says all clear. Okay. I get that information. Okay. We have Mr. Arvind Mittal, Mr. Pramod Savarkar, Prashant Lad, Subhishal, Vaibhav. All right. So guys are still rolling in. Thank you very much. Let's kick off with the program. Social CRM. Okay. Fantastic. Before we try to understand what is social CRM, I think it is important for all of us to understand first what is CRM, and then we can move on to the next level to understand what is social CRM. Now, CRM, generally CRM is a tool which we use to get more customer per customer. And through CRM, we are looking at options like upselling, cross-selling, referral selling. We are also looking at options of how we can give the best customer satisfaction and how we can generate loyal customers. Now, all in all, the domain of CRM revolves around existing customers. The domain of CRM revolves around existing customers. We are trying to make the best out of existing customers when we talk about CRM, right? And I just introduced you to the term MCPC, that is more customer per customer. So for those of you who are old into my Pathshala, you have heard of this before, so I'm not spending too much time on this. Now let me slowly take you to this world of social CRM. Now what is happening? When we talk about CRM, we are just talking about our existing customers. We are talking about those people who have already become our customers and we are trying different ways and methods to keep a good relationship with them, and then in the process monetize those relationships for more business. Now let me bring a scenario in front of you where there are customers in the market who give their opinion about you. There are customers who go out in the open market and complain about you. There are people who recommend you, they refer you, they share your content, they forward your content, they celebrate you, they flaunt you, they boo you down, they praise you. I mean, there is so much of action which is happening about you on the social media. So let me give you an example. Suppose you go to visit Jaipur and you didn't like the hotel. So you go to a site called tripadvisor.com and you give a bad rating for that hotel, and you speak bad about that hotel. Now what has happened? You have made a social conversation. And somewhere indirectly, this social conversation is going to hit on the sellability of that hotel in the future. Friends, we are always bothered about what our existing customers do in front of us. Are you bothered about what your existing customers do behind your back? Are you bothered about what your existing customers do beyond CRM? So if they come and put a complaint on your CRM, that means that it is very much there and you have an option to respond to it. You have an option to take care of the complaint. But what if the customer wants to complain outside your CRM? He's so mad at you that he wants to go out and blurt it out in the open market. Or what about if the person is not yet your customer, but is interacting on the social media about a topic on which you are interested? So, for example, if you are interested in soya bean oil, suppose you are a manufacturer of soya bean oil, and if a housewife is talking about cooking oil on the social media, and the fact that soya bean oil is also a cooking oil, are you not interested to know what this housewife is talking about cooking oil on the social media? Well, I'm sure you are. And if I'm sure you should be. This is what I call social conversation. And this entire world of social CRM revolves around this phenomena called social conversation. So, can you go to the chat box and write social conversation so that I know that you have understood this? Social conversation on the chat box, please. Okay, all right. Arvind Mittal, Pramod Savarkar, thank you so much. Now let's take it forward. How much social conversation is happening every 60 seconds? This is very interesting. How much social conversation is happening every 60 seconds? And I want you to take a quick guess. Let's take the example of any one of the social media. So let's take the example of YouTube. And just take a guess. Please go to the chat box and write for me how many videos will be uploaded on YouTube every minute. So, kitne ghante ka video, how many hours of video will be uploaded on YouTube every minute? Can you just take a guess and write on the chat box? Yes, I'm waiting for your answer on the chat box. Today we have a relatively smaller group on the SaleskiPathshala. We just have 9 people here, so no problem. We are going to enjoy. I want you to go to the chat box and write how many videos, or rather how many hours. Okay, Arvind Mittal says 100 hours of video. Okay, Vaibhav Patak says 10,000 hours of video. Pramod Savarkar says 1,000 hours of video. Okay, fantastic, wonderful. How many, this is a statistics which was taken down, and on YouTube 500 hours of video is uploaded every minute. Every minute 500 hours of video is uploaded. If you look at the screen, you will see that 3.3 million conversations are happening on Facebook every minute. Okay. On Google, 3.8 million. On Instagram, 65,972 conversations happening every minute. Every minute. Okay. And Twitter, 400 of their buying behavior or social behavior is some way going to affect your business. Don't you think so? I just want you to write on the chat box, yes or no. Do you feel that these social conversations happening in the market is going to affect the buying behavior of your product? Yes or no? Yes? Yes or no? Okay, so Weber says that it is true for B2C, but not true for B2B. All right, so why do you think it's not true for B2B, Weber? Because let's take the example of master batches, because Mr. Weber Patak working for a master batch company, JJ Plast Alloys. So if we take the example of a master batch, and if we are able to tap some social conversation, Weber, suppose we are trying to track Kenya as a market, and if we try to track how many textile companies are coming up in Kenya through social conversations, and knowing fully well that our product goes into textile factories, such kind of social conversations will also help you generate leads. All right. So a lot of time people feel that such social conversations are only helpful for branding. No, it's not like that. Social conversations are also helpful for creating leads. I'll give you the example of a company called Simplified 360. And the only thing that they do is they tap all social conversations for one simple phrase, I am interested. So जहां भी सोशल मीडिया पे किसी ने लिखा आई एम इंटरेस्टेड, तो वो उसको टैप कर लेते हैं और उसको टैप करके एनालाइज करते हैं, और एनालाइज करके उसका जो भी डेटा, उसके जो भी उपभोक्ता है, उसके जो भी कंज्यूमर हो सकते हैं, उनको बेचते हैं. Now, just the phrase I am interested, the moment it is written on social media, for sure they are interested in something which ultimately leads to a product or service. So, anything, whether you're in B2B or whether you're in B2C, Weber, I agree that maybe in B2C, the applications are immediate. Okay, there's a question from Bhava, but in office work, we get busy many a days, and I think I may require time to read conversation. Right. So Vaibhav, you don't have to read conversation. When you make use of social CRM, the social CRM will read conversations on your behalf. You only have to tell social CRM what do you want it to read for you and tap for you. So Vaibhav, if I've answered your question, please write a yes on the chat box. Thank you so much. So you see, these are the myriad, these are the various ways in which people are talking to each other. They are commenting, they're going for the mainstream news, they're putting on forum, their complaint sites are there which are dedicated for complaints, Twitter, Google+, Facebook, buying and selling, blogs. So these are all different ways in which people are communicating with each other on the social media. And social CRM will help you tap the social media and garner this particular information for you, so that that helps you in branding, it helps you in lead generation, and it helps you in so many other ways. So अभी तक हमने क्या बात किया, 15 मिनट हो गए हैं. In the last 15 minutes, what we have spoken about is, we have spoken about social listening, we have spoken about social conversation, and we have also spoken about the need and the importance of social conversation in managing our business. Fantastic. You know, this is one very famous study which was done by IBM, and IBM is a big company. Now, if you look at this study, there's a huge perception gap between what business people think is happening on social media and what is actually happening on the social media. So, बहुत interesting study है दोस्तों. If you look at this, on the left hand side, you have consumer ranking. So, consumers are, consumer ranks discount and purchases as the top two reasons for which they go to the internet or social media. And businessmen thought, and this is a research that they did in America, which is much more developed than us. Even in a developed economy like America, IBM said that business people, when they went and spoke to business people thought that learning about new products and general information were the two highest reasons for people to come on social media. And business people thought that purchasing and discounting are the least important thing on social media, whereas actually for customers, purchasing and discounting were the top two reasons for which they went to social media. Now, this is what will show you the difference of perception, and this is also happening. So, sometime back when Vaibhav said that B2B mein nahi chalega, somewhere it's a perception gap, Vaibhav, because people are coming in truckloads to the social media with a strong desire to purchase and to understand about discounts. And hence, it's very important for us to understand this phenomenon. So let us quickly understand how CRM is evolving into social CRM. And this is very important for us to understand, because some of us who are already using a CRM system, we need to slowly start on the journey of upgrading ourselves from CRM to social CRM. Let's look at the 5W1H. So who, what, where, when, why, and how. That's the 5W1H on the left-hand side. So earlier in CRM, we used to talk about specific departments. So we used to talk about purchase department, we used to talk about marketing department, branding department. But now in social CRM, we are talking about everyone. You see, the level of tracking in social CRM has come to individual. It's no longer department. If you look at the what element, the CRM conventionally, just for your information, CRM came into this world somewhere in the 80s. Somewhere around 1981, CRM came into this world. And the first CRM application that came into this world was where an airline started the miles loyalty program. So the more you fly, the more miles you get. And that was the first CRM loyalty program in the world, around 80s. So it was very company centric. When you talk about CRM, we are very company centric. And social CRM says that let us be customer centric. Let us not be company centric, because now the customers have started taking a call on all decisions. When we spoke about where, so CRM conventionally always spoke about defined channels, and now we are talking about customer driven dynamic channels, right? So if you go to a tripadvisor.com, that is a customer defined channel. tripadvisor.com कोई मेक माई ट्रिप का चैनल नहीं है, ये कोई गो आईबीबो का चैनल नहीं है, ये एक चैनल है जो कस्टमर्स ड्राइव करते हैं. So do you understand the difference between CRM and social CRM? Social CRM is outside in. It is driven by customers. So the message is there on the screen is quite clear. You have understood that how CRM has evolved into a social CRM. So at this juncture, I'm just looking at the chat box to see if there's any question. So please put your questions on the chat box if you have any, so that both of us are on the same page. All right, on the chat box, I don't see any question as of now. Okay, let me see who all are there in the room. Okay, great. So let me forward this question that does social CRM affect SMEs? A lot of times, and most of you are from a small and medium enterprise. So a lot of times this question comes up that is there any correlation or is there any relevance for social CRM in the life or in the business of a small and medium enterprise? And I always say that surely it does. All of us are social consumers. Just like sometime back, Weber said that he's not a social consumer. Well, you may not be a consumer of social data, but you are definitely a provider of social data. So when I go and do a rating of a restaurant, I'm actually providing social data through social media. Because the moment I give a rating to Uber, or I give a rating to a restaurant, or I give a rating anywhere on the internet, I'm actually giving a judgment for a particular brand. And this judgment gets into a social CRM, which is now accumulated by artificial intelligence tools. And this has a huge impact on social CRM of some company. So what we need to understand here is all of us are social data providers. Some of us could be social data consumers, but all of us are social data providers. And since all of us are social data providers, it is but important for us to understand that if you are providing social data, and if everyone in this world is providing social data, then there must be some people whose data you would be interested in as a business person. At this juncture, I just want you to ask a question, yes or no. Do you agree to yes or no? Yes or no? On the chat box, please, yes or no. Do you feel that all of us are social data providers? All right, all of us are social data providers. So if all of us are social data providers, then I'm sure कि मेरा जो ग्राहक है, my customer, must be providing some social data which is of relevance to me. So quickly, I want you to write on the chat box as to what data do you think your customer could be providing on social media, which you as a seller of your product could be interesting to you. Yes, I'm interested to know because, today's topic is slightly new for all of us. So unless we take practical examples, we may not be able to connect. Okay, very good. So we have Arvind Mittal. So Arvind, can you write on the chat box any example which you feel, any data which you feel that people must be putting on the social media which you would like to tap? Any one of you, all of you on the session right now, please go to the chat box and write a particular set of data which you think you would like to tap. And if you're not coming across anything in your mind, just write confused. Just write confused. All right. Arvind Mittal says about training using theater. Okay, so Arvind Mittal is a theater personality. He's a director of theater. So on the social media, he would like to tap the keyword called theater. So anyone on social media using the word theater, I think Arvind Mittal should be interested. All right. So Arvind, I would like to tell you that there is a portal called Connect Insights. So Arvind, there's a portal called Connect Insights. If you go to Connect Insight, it has got a free version. On Connect Insights, if you put the word theater anywhere on social media where theater is being written, they will send a notification to you. Just check it out, my friend. All right, that's interesting. Arvind Mittal has got his keyword now. All right, Sanjay Agarwal says in a business forum, if someone shares visiting card, this may be our key lead. All right, so what Sanjay you are saying that अगर इंटरनेट पे कोई भी अपना विजिटिंग कार्ड शेयर करता है, बट दोस्त वो विजिटिंग कार्ड किसी और बिजनेस का हो सकता है, जरूरी नहीं उसे मास्टर बैच चाहिए. So I don't think your example is correct. Just refine it further. So Vaibhav says maybe celebration of new started plastic companies, achievement of milestones with their company. Oh, wonderful, Vaibhav. I'm so happy with the example which you gave. So if you start looking at keywords, so what are the keywords, Vaibhav, which will be used by people who are inaugurating a new plastic company or who are celebrating something to do with plastic? Master batch, yes. So your keyword is master batch. So if you start tracking the keyword called master batch, wherever master batch is being written on the social media, if they can tag you, I think your day is done and you will get a lot of leads generated from there. Vaibhav, do you agree with me? All right, I'm still waiting for others to give their answers. Yes, guys, on the chat box, I want to treat the show today very, very practical. Okay, so we have some new faces. Oshin looks like a new name to me today. Maitri, new person. Prashant Lad coming for the first time today. Shitanshu, also a new name. Guys, just go to the chat box and write. Okay, Maitri says PV construction. Okay, so maybe Maitri would like to follow the keyword PV construction. That's very interesting. All right. Now यहाँ पे एक चीज ध्यान में रखना है दोस्तों कि हम कीवर्ड को एज ए नाउन नहीं लिख सकते. देखिए सोशल मीडिया है, सोशल कन्वर्सेशन है, तो नाउन का सर्च करना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा, तो हमें वर्ब को यूज करना है. तो आपकी जो कीवर्ड्स हैं उसका नियरेस्ट जो वर्ब या एडवर्ब बनता है वो आप सोशल सीआरएम में यूज करेंगे तो आपके रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छी आएगी. So for example, you cannot write PV construction, right? So you will have to write structural strength, and that is how you will get to PV. All right. You cannot write what is PV. Oh, okay. Weber is asking what is PV. PV stands for pre-engineered building. Yeah, Weber, PV stands for this. You have seen these modern day buildings which are made of iron girdles. So PV stands for pre-engineered buildings. All right. That's just a small clarification there. So moving it forward, does it affect SMEs? Yes, it does affect SMEs. अब थोड़ी सी सोशल मीडिया की दुनिया का एक फेनोमेना समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. And this phenomena is called Millward Brown Brand Z and the Ogilvy 1 Loyalty Index. अब देखिए आपको स्क्रीन पे there is a x-axis and y-axis. On the y-axis we have plotted value and on the x-axis we have plotted loyalty. यानी कि जो लोग बहुत ज्यादा लॉयल हैं आपसे और जो बहुत ज्यादा वैल्यू भी देते हैं यानी बहुत ज्यादा बिलिंग करते हैं आपके साथ, तो they are like gold nuggets for you, right? There are some people who do a very high billing with you, but they do not show any loyalty to you. So they are like 777 club. Okay. And then in this quadrant, people who do very less billing with you and are also very less loyal with you are like lemons. And there are some people who are very, very loyal to you, but the amount of billing that they do with you is very small. So that is what we call acons. So you have acons, you have nuggets, you have jackpots, and you have lemons. Now a very interesting phenomena of the social CRM circle is, देखिए पहले आप इस मैट्रिक्स को समझ लीजिए. तो definitely you don't want to spend too much money with people who belong to this lemon quadrant. And today's research shows that people are spending 60% of their money on CRM on this quadrant, which is useless. And people are spending only 10% of their money on this quadrant, which is again very low. So these percentages have to change. मुद्दे की बात यह है दोस्तों कि अगर if you are able to connect people who are highly loyal but less value to those people who are giving very high value to you but are less loyal, यानी अगर आप अकाउंट्स को जैकपॉट के साथ कनेक्ट कर दो थ्रू सोशल सीआरएम, you have arrived. You will get a lot of new leads. Just try and understand. How do you connect accounts to jackpots in a social conversation and make money out of the same? So let me give you a few examples so that you are able to connect, right? So when Reliance launched its telecom Karlo Dunya Muthi Mein, so there were a lot of people who bought the Reliance handsets at 500 rupees or 1000 rupees, which included the SIM card and the handset also. So the value was very less. But those people who got inducted into the telecom circles then showed a very high loyalty to Reliance. Okay. So they created a lot of accounts first. And then as time moved on and Reliance moved into higher ticket products, and they had their own jackpots. So they had people who were using the CDMA high-end handsets of Reliance. And they had a system where these accounts were connected to the jackpots. And to cut the long story short, many of these accounts, so now when Reliance has come up with the standard 10,000 rupees smartphones, in fact, I'm told now they have come with a 4,500 rupees smartphone. They have just robbed that market with a 90% market share. How was that possible? This was made possible by creating a lot of accounts in the market and then making them mingle with the jackpots and then creating a social conversation around them and then minting money out of it. All right, cool. Before I take it forward, this Ogilvy 1, is it clear to all of you? This matrix, is it clear to all of you? Forget about the Reliance example, but this matrix, is that clear to all of you? Okay, on the chat box, I see my colleague Charles having posted a feedback form. So please copy that feedback form and ensure that you share your feedback with us at the end of the program. Okay, fantastic. So all of you have understood this Ogilvy 1. So here I would like to talk about 5 spaces in the market. So there's a brick and mortar space, which is the physical space that we normally deal with. And there is this web as a second space, which is the internet cloud that we talk about. Then there is this e-commerce space where actually transactions are happening in the market. And then there is this social networking space where there are portals dedicated for social conversation. So these 4 spaces you're already aware of. And if you see on the top, I talk about a closed graph data and open graph data and 5th space. So if you look at the first space and the second space, these are closed graph data. These are already closed. They are not open-ended, they're closed. E-commerce, again a closed graph data. Social network, open graph data. Open graph data का मतलब open-ended data है. आप जितना capture कर सको आपकी काबिलियत. And slowly this 5th space has emanated now. So now in the market, we talk about the 5th space. We are no longer restricting ourselves to space number 1 or space number 2, space number 3, space number 4. We are talking about a 5th space. And this 5th space is what we call the social CRM. जी हाँ दोस्तों, बहुत ही कंटेम्प्रेरी टॉपिक है और दुनिया की जो सबसे बेहतरीन मार्केटिंग कंपनीज हैं वो ही इसको फॉलो कर रही हैं. There are not too many people who have mastered CRM yet. तो सोशल CRM तो बात की बात है, बट आपके सामने ये टॉपिक इसलिए लाया हूं कि आप समझ सको. So we are all talking about the 5th space, the space which a company can create consciously, called the social CRM space. ताकि अब हमको डेटा 5 जगह से आएगी. एक तो ब्रिक एंड मॉर्टर से आएगी. मॉर्टर का स्पेलिंग गलत है, यहाँ मॉर्टर होना चाहिए. सो एक ब्रिक एंड मॉर्टर रिटेल से आएगी. दूसरा जो इंटरनेट क्लाउड है वहां से आएगा. थर्ड ई कॉमर्स स्पेस से आएगा, फोर्थ जो सोशल नेटवर्क साइट्स हैं वहां से आएगी, और फिफ्थ जो सोशल सीआरएम का स्पेस हम क्रिएट करेंगे उससे आएगा. So can you go to the chat box and write fifth space? Just write fifth space so that I know that you have understood what do I mean by fifth space. Fifth space. All right. Okay, Prashant Lad, fifth space, Sanjay Agarwal, Maitri, thank you so much. So if you have understood the fifth space, we have crossed the 30 minutes barrier. So let's understand. Are you guys enjoying the program today, guys? Are you enjoying? Just write a E if you're enjoying. All right. Prashant Lad says he is enjoying. Arvind Mittal says enjoying. Okay, thank you very much. The topic today is a bit new, so I'm making my best effort to ensure that you are able to connect. Okay, the fifth space. We have all understood what is the fifth space. So taking it forth further, social CRM has to integrate into the current CRM, right? Social CRM has to integrate into the current CRM. So the data of social conversation is fed into CRM, right? तो सोशल सीआरएम कोई अलग से सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं है. आप देखिए, अगर आप जोहो सीआरएम यूज करते हैं तो आप जोहो की वेबसाइट पे जाके देखिए, देयर इज अ समथिंग कॉल्ड जोहो सोशल. आप अगर हबस्पॉट यूज करते हैं, शुगर यूज करते हैं, बिट्रिक्स यूज करते हैं, एनी स्टैंडर्ड सीआरएम सॉफ्टवेयर इफ यू यूज हैज गॉट ए सोशल सीआरएम ऑप्शन. Since most of us do not understand what is social CRM, so we don't opt for social CRM, and definitely we don't make use of it. But the world has already moved ahead and the world has started making use of social CRM. So what happens is, so if you're using Joho, so you buy Joho Social, then you tap social conversations, you tap that data from social conversation and feed that data into your Joho CRM. Once you have fed the data into Joho CRM or any CRM, that CRM will continue with all the other CRM benefits that you normally do till now. So what are the benefits that we derive from CRM? Okay, we use CRM for developing leads, we use CRM for better branding, we use CRM for e-commerce, we use CRM for research, and we also use CRM for customer service. तो ये जो 5 आउटपुट है, ये 5 deliverables हैं from a good CRM software. We are looking at leads, we are looking at branding, we are looking at e-commerce, we are looking at research inputs, and we are looking at customer service. So once I am able to tap social conversation, I pick up that data, put it into my regular CRM, and my regular CRM goes ahead and gives me the 5 services that I'm talking about. All right, very interesting. Very interesting. So if I take it further from there, what are the insights that I can get through social CRM? Right? I'm just looking at key, once I tap information from social conversation, what kind of insights can I actually get? First insight I can get is related to branding. You know, it can help brand managers create winning marketing campaigns. I'll just share some live examples for you. So MakeMyTrip.com uses social CRM, and there is a case study of MakeMyTrip.com on the net, where in a particular year, they found that in winter, the social conversation around spending a holiday on the hills during winter was very high. They tapped this data from social conversation and went against the rules, because normally in winter, the tourism industry on the hills or on high altitude areas is pretty poor. In fact, most of the hotels are closed. And Make My Trip, and this is some 7-8 years back, they actually tapped this information and they said they went gung-ho. They went and bought rooms in hotels, in hill stations, which was available for a song. And they created a marketing campaign which said that this winter, let's play with snow. And this marketing campaign went viral and make my trip. It was actually a game changer for them when you made use of this social conversation in taking things to that level. So this is an example of how social conversations were used for branding purpose to create a winning campaign. Let's come to the second insight on product development. Now, insights that will help you add features to your product under development. Your R&D cannot do this on real-time basis. Your R&D department would always work offline. Now, can you imagine a scenario where social CRM can give inputs to your R&D from a real-time online conversations that are happening? I find it super exciting. It's just super awesome for an R&D person. You go and ask your R&D person, how will it be if I can give you real-time conversations happening around the product, and he will just jump out of his chair. That's how important it is. And the third, of course, is sales leads. So social CRM can track keywords and hashtags to generate sales leads and feed them into your CRM. So Weber, you had asked me a question. I will strongly recommend you that please go and download the free version of Zoho Social and see how you can put certain keywords, and Zoho Social, how can it help you in trapping those keywords and generating leads for you. In fact, Weber, on YouTube, there are videos on Zoho Social. Go and watch those videos on Zoho Social today and ascertain whether you can use Zoho Social for lead generation or not. Weber, if my message has reached you, can you put a yes on the chat box, please? Okay, thank you so much, Weber. All right, fantastic. Let us quickly summarize and understand why you cannot miss out on social CRM. Because normally when I take a session on social CRM, people generally get a feeling कि ठीक है सर, आपने जो बताया अच्छा है, नए जमाने का है, latest है, मेरा knowledge बढ़ गया, but I don't think that I'm going to make use of social CRM immediately. Let me put these 6 points, maybe reiterate many one of them. Real-time insights. I just spoke to you how you can get real-time insights into brand and R&D. Number 2 is segmentation. Social CRM helps you segment social customers as per buying behavior, which is real-time. All right. Now, market segmentation अगर आप समझते हैं तो आपको पता है कि जो बड़े brands होते हैं, they create a marketing campaign according to segment, right? It is very difficult to create a marketing campaign for each individual, because if I have got 1 million customers, I cannot create 1 million campaigns, correct? Now, if you have social CRM, you can tweak your campaigns, you can align your campaigns basis of the social conversation that you receive. So that's how you cannot miss out on it from a segmentation perspective. Ogilvy 1 loyalty index, so the accounts can be networked with jackpots to get more sales value. We have just discussed that. Point number 4, advocates. So when you maximize your spends on customer advocates who are identified on the basis of social behavior on real-time basis. ये देखिए आजकल बड़ा इन्फ्लुएंसर की बात हो रही है, हर इंडस्ट्री में, हर डोमेन पे बहुत सारे इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हैं और वो आपकी चीजों को आपके हक में पोस्ट करने के पैसे लेते हैं, ठीक है? सोशल सीआरएम जब पूरे तरीके से आ जाएगा मार्केट में, ऑल दिस इन्फ्लुएंसर्स विल लूज देयर जॉब, because social CRM will start doing the job of an influencer on a real-time basis. I hope you understand what I mean. When social CRM will be able to identify each and every customer uniquely down to the last level, I don't need an influencer's or his influencer's reach to go to the market. My social CRM will become my influencer in the market. Next point, invisible prospects. So all of you understand very well that the sales journey does not start from the day when the customer decides to buy your product. Actually, the sales journey starts on the day the customer thinks of buying a product category. तो जिस दिन मैंने गाड़ी लेने का सोचा, उस दिन से मैं आपका प्रोस्पेक्ट बन गया हूं. अब मैंने गाड़ी ली 10 साल के बाद में, तो ट्रांजैक्शन, सेल्स ट्रांजैक्शन 10 साल के बाद में होगा. लेकिन द डे आई थॉट दैट आई वांट टू बाय अ कार, आई हैव बिकम अ प्रोस्पेक्ट, राइट? Now, the day I thought I want to buy a car, I start going to internet. I start locating different brands, different products. I start giving my opinions. I start giving my ratings. So this is what I call invisible prospects. They are invisible. You can't see them, but social CRM can help you see the invisible prospects. They can help you reach out to the invisible prospects, and these invisible prospects can now become a part of their consideration set. Fantastic, friends. And last but not the least, 360-degree view. So marketers can get a 360-degree view of their brand and users. So those 6 points which I feel are important, so important that you cannot miss out on social CRM. So just write cannot miss out. Just write CMO, cannot miss out. CMO, cannot miss out on social CRM. Okay, fantastic. Cannot miss out on social CRM. Beautiful, wonderful. So on that note, I would like to conclude today's program that social CRM can help you in selling without selling. You know, this is the new mantra now. The new mantra in the market today is stop selling, start marketing. So this is exactly what social CRM does. You can start selling without selling because social CRM becomes your salesman. Social CRM will do the sales job for you. And with time coming, a lot of artificial intelligence built into your social CRM. It will also help you start making very serious sales and marketing decisions. So if you look at the screen, we say that do not feel jealous about someone who uses social CRM. So stop feeling jealous. It is very much there within your reach. It is not expensive. It is just something which you are not aware of. Today, I have made you aware of it. Go and explore this world more. Listen to some videos on social CRM on YouTube, and bang, you're ready to go on your journey of social CRM. If you see this Venn diagram here, extreme customer centricity, technology as a facilitator, and selling without selling. Now, these are the three sets which conjure into one. And the common point at which they conjugate these three circles is the point where you can see social CRM happening. All right. So what should you do? What should you do? We still have 9 more minutes. What should you do? As a small and medium enterprise, what should you do? You should start taking baby steps towards social CRM. And what are those baby steps? The first baby step is start CRM. क्योंकि अगर आप CRM ही स्टार्ट नहीं करेंगे तो सोशल CRM कैसे करेंगे? अगर क्लास 1 ही पास नहीं किए तो क्लास 2 में कैसे जाएंगे? So first is start CRM. So for those of you who are still not using CRM, or for those of you who use CRM as an electronic typewriter to present good reports, they do not make use of the real essence of CRM. And all those of you from JJ Plast, you don't make use of CRM the way CRM should be used. You are just making use of it for putting your leads and taking out nice reports. So the first step is start using CRM. The second is start social listening. आज के प्रोग्राम के बाद आपको ये तो समझ में आ गया कि what is social listening. आज के प्रोग्राम के बाद थोड़े से वीडियोस जाके YouTube में देखिए कि सोशल लिसनिंग क्या होता है, सोशल लिसनिंग कैसे करते हैं, वो कौन-कौन से वेबसाइट्स है जहां जाके आप सोशल लिसनिंग कर सकते हो, right? And I'm sure you will restrict yourself to the nature and scope of your business. सो अगर आप मास्टर बैच बेच रहे हो तो आप सोशल लिसनिंग कोई ज्वेलरी का नहीं करने वाले, आप मास्टर बैच की सोशल लिसनिंग करोगे, राइट? द थर्ड स्टेप इज स्टार्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग हाउ वी कैन मोनेटाइज सोशल कन्वर्सेशन. तो पहले स्टार्ट सीआरएम, फिर दूसरा लिसनिंग करना चालू कीजिए. वंस यू स्टार्ट डूइंग सोशल लिसनिंग, कीप ऑन आस्किंग योरसेल्फ कि ये जो सोशल लिसनिंग मैं कर रहा हूं, इसका कौन सा पहलू मैं मोनेटाइज कर सकता हूं. Which aspect of social conversation can I convert into money for my business? And then fourth point is invest in social CRM. All right. So it is still some time where you have to invest in social CRM, but I would strongly suggest that start social listening. Start social listening, start becoming part of social conversation, start asking this question to yourself. How am I going to make use of social conversation and translating it into profits and into business for myself? And then we will jointly maybe work out on whether we need to invest on social CRM or not. Fantastic, guys. If you have understood what I have said, that's very cool. Let me just quickly go down to the chat box and see if there's any question whatsoever. Okay, there's a gentle reminder from Charles about a feedback form. So guys, don't forget to fill the feedback form today. And as you know that once we receive your feedback form, we share the PowerPoints with you. So if there's any question, please shoot it on the chat box. Where do you do social listening? There are a lot of online portals focused on social listening where you can actually go and do your social listening. I want to bring an end to today's program on this note, and I want to tell all of you happy social conversations. Please put your time and go and understand this phenomena, this entire world of social listening and social conversation. And I'm sure you will arrive at least one point where you can translate social conversation into more money for your business. So, on that note, I would like to bring an end to today's program, and I would request all of you to now put your videos on so that we can talk to each other and I can also answer your questions live. Yeah, you can put your videos on. I'm sorry. Let me just remove the settings so that, yes, thank you so much. Great. So I'm so happy to see all of you. Yes, towards the end of the program, do you have any question to ask on today's topic? And if you have any feedback to give, you can also give me that. All right, very good. So I can see Mr. Arvind Mittal, Millie Juneja, Sanjay Agarwal. So Millie Juneja is herself a digital marketer. So Millie, what are your opinions on social CRM? Millie, I can't, you're still on mute. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Good. I have removed that barrier. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I can't hear you.
Sir, thank you for inviting me here. Hello? Hello?
All right. I actually can't hear you guys. So there's some technical glitch here. I can't hear you. Okay. Could you post your feedbacks on the chat box, please? I can't hear you actually at all. All right, Mr. Prashant Lad has put on the chat box, can we just call social CRM as part of digital marketing? Prashant Lad, social market CRM is not a part of digital marketing. Social CRM is an evolution out of current CRM. Yes, thank you so much, Prashant. I really don't know why the audio is not coming on me. All right, so guys, please put your feedback on the chat box because I'm not able to get your audio at all. Meanwhile, from my side, thank you so much for all of those who have joined today for the first time on SaleskiPathshala. Let me remind you that SaleskiPathshala happens every Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. on a new topic of sales. So all those of you who have not yet signed up for the annual package of SaleskiPathshala, please get in touch with us and I'm sure we'll rock it together. Every Wednesday, same time, same place, 4 to 5 p.m. Take good care of yourself and keep on rocking. Thank you very much.